Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're going to tackle a huge idea, one that pretty much shapes the world we live in, democracy. But what does that word really, truly mean? And what does it have to do with you? Let's get into it.
Seriously, have you ever felt that way? Like you don't really get a say in the big stuff that affects your life? It's a pretty common feeling, for sure. But what if I told you there's a whole system designed to flip that script?
Well, that system, it's called democracy. And look, it's not just some boring word you hear in class. It's this really powerful idea that's built on one simple principle: your voice matters. It's designed to put the power right into the hands of the people, not just a few folks at the top.
So what's the bottom line? What is democracy? Well, the simplest way to put it is this. Democracy is a form of government where the people get to elect their rulers. That's really the core of it. But the most important part to remember is that the real power, the ultimate power to run things, rests with you, the citizens. Okay, so for this whole system to actually work and be fair, it has to follow a few super important rules. Think of it like a game, right? If everyone plays by the same rules, everyone gets a fair shot. So let's dive into the 4 main rules of the game.
All right, rule number 1. In a real democracy, the people you vote for are the ones who actually make the final calls. This means it's not some mystery person or a secret group calling the shots from behind a curtain. The power to make laws and decide big things belongs to the representatives that you chose.
And this is a perfect way to picture it. In places like India or Canada, the major decisions come from the Prime Minister and their team, who are all elected officials. It's all about making sure the folks in charge are actually accountable to us, the voters.
Okay, rule number 2. This one is huge. It's all about having a real choice. A democracy absolutely needs free and fair elections. That means different groups and parties can all compete, and more importantly, you have a real chance to vote out leaders you're not happy with. It can't just be a race with only one runner, right?
And for that to work, for an election to be truly fair, it has to be inclusive, so everybody can participate, and transparent, so everyone trusts the results. Because at the end of the day, if you don't have a choice, you don't really have a democracy. Now this might just be the most important rule of them all. It's called political equality. In a democracy, every single adult citizen gets one vote. And every single one of those votes is worth the exact same amount. It literally doesn't matter who you are, how much money you have, what you do for a living, none of that. Look at this. People from all different backgrounds, all in the same line. This is what it's all about. This idea of equality is the foundation for democracies like the USA, India, and France. One person, one vote, one value. It's such a simple idea, but it is so powerful.
And that brings us to our last rule, number 4. And this is a big one. The government has to follow the rules too. A democratic government isn't all-powerful. Its power is actually limited by a bigger set of rules, usually a constitution. It's something called the rule of law.
So yeah, the government isn't above the law. It can't just do whatever it wants. It has to protect your basic rights, like the freedom to say what you think, to disagree, and to get a fair shake. This whole rule is what makes sure the government works for the people, and not the other way around. Super important.
All right, so those are the 4 big rules of the game. But, this is where it gets really interesting, because not all democracies look exactly the same. It's not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. Let's check out a couple of different styles. So the first big difference is how people actually get involved. You've got what's called direct democracy, where every single citizen would vote on every single issue. Think about trying to get all your friends to agree on what movie to watch. It's chaos, right? Now imagine doing that with millions of people for every single decision. Yeah, that's why pretty much every modern country goes with an indirect or representative democracy. That's where we elect representatives, kind of like a team captain, to make those big decisions for us.
And even within that representative model, there are different ways leaders can lead. You've got the parliamentary system, like in India or the UK, where the big boss, the Prime Minister, is actually part of the lawmaking team, the legislature, and has to answer to them. Then you have the presidential system, like in the US, where the president is elected separately and isn't directly on that team. So, see, they're just 2 different ways of getting to the same goal, making sure the leaders answer to the people.
Okay, so we've got the rules, we've got the different styles. Sounds pretty solid, doesn't it? But, and this is a big but, it's not perfect. Like any system this big and complicated, it can definitely have some bugs.
And that's a totally fair question to ask. You see it on the news all the time, right? Problems in countries that are supposed to be democracies. So what gives?
Why isn't it always running smoothly?
Well, the thing is, these aren't just little glitches you can fix with a software update. They're more like deep, ongoing challenges that democracies are always dealing with. For example, you have the ideal of political equality, one person, one vote, clashing with the reality of economic inequality, where, let's be real, sometimes having more money means your voice gets heard a little louder. Then there's the constant fight against corruption, and the huge challenge of making sure people stay informed and involved, even when it's not election day. These are the tough, real-world problems that every democracy has to face.
But this right here, this might be the single most important thing to remember from all of this. These challenges don't mean the whole system's broken. No way. It just means the system is missing one crucial ingredient, and that's you.
That's right. You can't just be a spectator sitting on the sidelines and watching it all happen. For it to really, truly work the way it's supposed to, for it to actually live up to all those amazing ideals, everyone's got to get in the game.
So when you boil it all down, what are we really talking about here? It means that democracy isn't just about government rules and elections. It's a way of life. It's a set of values, like equality and respect and being responsible for each other. It's like a group project that's never really finished, and it needs everyone to pitch in to keep it going strong.
And that leaves us with one last big question. Because you don't have to wait until you're old enough to vote to be a part of this. So how can you play your part? How can you make your voice heard right now, in your own world, in your community, at your school, about the things you care about? That's the real question democracy asks every single one of us every single day. Thanks for tuning in.